Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, just welcome in general. I'm back, bitch. I'm back, baby. I had some time off, okay? I needed a break. I needed to, like, you know, stop filming YouTube videos for a minute and just fucking read, because, you know, I love uploading these videos. I love filming them. You guys love them, but I need to give myself time to actually read. And it got to the point where I was like, shit. I literally had no new books to talk about. So, you know, sometimes here and there I'm gonna have to take breaks and stuff and fucking read. Yeah. And I don't want to be one of those booktubers that recommend the same books over and over. You know what I mean? Like, I want to add a little bit of spice. Anyway, Happy New Year. What the hell? 2021 is here, bitch. So today I just wanted to kind of do like a December wrap up. There was a bunch of books that I read at the end of 2020 that I didn't put in my 2020 favorite standalones because I filmed that a month prior. So I wanted to recommend these books that I read like over the holidays and over, you know, the end of December, because they are phenomenal, bitch. Like, next level good. I'm so excited to be talking about these new books that I recently read. Some of them you've probably already read yourself, maybe. They are popular books, but I just wanted to talk about them. So grab a snack, bitch. Okay, grab a snack, grab a drink, sit down, let's enjoy. My tummy's rumbling because I'm hungry. Love that for me. I got my laptop here, you know, being a fancy bitch and all, because I've written everything down on my laptop. That's one thing in the new year that I'm going to be doing, is writing down on my laptop the books that I have read and recommended. And I'm also in the description box going to link where I read these books and where I purchase them from, because I get questions all the fucking time, like literally daily questions on my YouTube channel saying like, where do you find these books? For some reason, people go on Wattpad expecting all these books to be on Wattpad. I don't read Wattpad. Like, I don't even know how to work that fucking app. Okay, why is there a car going past? I need to talk about this author. I know this author is very, very popular, but I haven't read many of her books until recently. I had read one of her books like a year ago, but I hadn't really delved into the rest of her books that she has released. I'm talking about Colleen Hoover. I just went on a binge, like an absolute like book after book binge with Colleen Hoover's books, and fuck me, literally, wow. Whoa, dude, like obsessed. You've probably already read these, but if you haven't, please read them, because after I read them, was like, why the fuck did I wait so long to read them? Like, I hate when I do that. I'm that bitch. Someone says, read this book, and I go, no, hun, not ready to, and then I fucking put it on the TBR, and then when I do get around to eventually reading it, I'm like, fuck, why did I do that? Why did I postpone that? The first book I want to talk about from Colleen Hoover that I read last week has blown my mind. I have never read this genre before. I've never ever read this trope, or whatever you want to call it. I've never read a style of book like this, and I am obsessed, hun. This is hands down one of my favorite reads I've ever fucking read. Like, I loved every minute of it. This is Verity from Colleen Hoover. So this is actually a suspense romance, like a thriller romance. Wow. Before I even get into the actual plot and what the story is about, I was scared reading this. Not scared, but I was getting like creepy vibes, and I was really feeling like the suspense and like the aesthetic of this book. It sucked me in. Like, I was reading it late at night and I was like, I'm gonna close and go to bed. I was on the edge of my seat, my heart was pumping, but there was also a romance in it, and I just fell in love with it, and now I'm obsessed with this whole like thriller romance situation. So if you have any recommendations for this genre, please let me know in the comments below, because this is something that I want to dive into this year. Because I'm not gonna lie, basic fucking college romances and shit, they don't do it for me anymore. I've read them, I'm done, you know what I mean? So I want shit like this. Anyway, it's about this girl who is a writer. She's just trying to make that coin, living the indie author life. She ends up having this meeting with this dude who's the wife of this famous thriller author that she's obsessed with. And they have picked her out to co-write the rest of the series because his wife had an accident and is now unable to finish the series. But the publishing company doesn't want to end the series because she no longer can write it, because it's very popular and her books are very popular. So they reach out to this girl because they think her writing style is similar, and they go, hey, we'll pay you X amount of money for you to finish and complete this series. Obviously you have to write the same as the woman, so you'll have to learn all about her writing and how to kind of ghost write her story. The woman's name is Verity. I went into this book blind. I didn't even read the blurb, so I suggest you do it too. Oh my fucking god. She ends up going to the house, staying at the house with the husband, the son, and Verity, and she ends up like going into her office and finding like all her books and her scripts and all this shit to do with her writing, so she can learn how to write just like her. And she stumbles across like a what do you call it, biography? Is that what you call it? She's written like a book about her relationship and her life. And she starts reading it thinking it's going to be a good idea to get inside of her head and know who she is as a person, because she's about to ghostwrite all her books. And fucking hell. This is crazy. Dead set, like mind-blowing crazy. Like fucked up. This is dark and this is good, and I don't want to say anything else. That's all I'm saying. You have to fucking go read this right now. It's one of the best books I've ever fucking read. As I said, I want to read more of this, and bitch, even though it was a like romance thriller, the steam hunt in this book is next fucking level. Like, oh my god, it's super smutty, super steam worthy, all about this life, this dark thriller, ooh, mystery, like on the edge of your seat, your heart's fucking pumping. Loved every minute of it. So the next two books are also from Colleen Hoover. This one is All Your Perfects. So this is a very, very well-known book. Loads of people have read this, and if you haven't read it already, you were living under a rock like me. I postponed reading this because everyone told me how emotional it was, and it was just like this like full-on book, and yeah, I don't know, I just postponed Colleen Hoover as an author. Even though I'd read Hopeless and I really enjoyed that, I just didn't dive into any of her other books. This is about a couple that are married. They were madly in love until they started having infertility issues. The book is written in dual timelines, so you go between the past when they were falling in love and the present where they're falling out of love. So it's really emotional because of that. Not even just because of the plot, like it's emotional because you get to see this couple fall in love and you get to see the heartbreak of them falling out of love. I read this within like a day. Like I just fucking read the whole thing. I loved this so much. Very, very emotional, as I already said. There is a really good message in this book. I think Colleen is known for that. She puts very deep and meaningful messages in every one of her books. And every time I finish one of her books, I'm like, oh my god. Like, dock that up there, bitch. Keep that filed away in your head, hun. Like, you need to know that. You need to keep on to that for the rest of your life. Funny thing, everyone said I was going to blubber and cry my eyes out. I want to let you guys know that it's very fucking rare for me to cry with a book. Like, very fucking rare. Like, you have to really grab my heart, rip it out of my chest, stand on that shit, bitch, before I shed a tear when it comes to books. And this almost got me, but it didn't quite. The ending, though, please read it if you haven't already. Okay, the next book I want to talk about from Colleen Hoover that I read is It Ends With Us, another famous book from her. Everyone was telling me to read this, so I thought wrapping up the year 2020 with this book would be perfect. Everyone again said I was going to cry my eyes out with this book, but I didn't. Definitely didn't fucking cry with this one. Almost though. After it, I was like, oh my god. Because again, this book has a very powerful message. Like, one, I think us as women all need to read and learn and file away in our brains. The blurb kind of sounds a little bit like Even If It Hurts or Serenading Heartbreak from Ella Fields. It's very... The blurb sounds like that, but trust me, it's so not that. It's about this girl who ends up meeting this dude and they have a connection, and he's like, nah, I'm not into having a relationship. I want to be single for the rest of my life. And she's like, well, I want a relationship. And he's like, well, we better not sleep together. And she's like, yeah, well, we're not going to sleep together because we don't want the same thing. And then he ends up like kind of hounding her because he becomes obsessed with her. Like, he can't stop thinking about her. And he eventually woos her. And then her ex-boyfriend and first love comes back into her life. And this also has dual timelines, so you get to learn about how she fell in love with her first love and then how she fell in love and what's going on now with her current love. Oh my god, again, massive plot twist. I did not see this coming, and I'm not going to say anything. Again, you have to go into Colleen's books completely blind. This was powerful, and I wasn't happy with the ending. But I understood the ending, and I know why that ending had to happen. My hair today is a mess because it's fucking hot and I'm sweating. Fucking, it's summer, bitch, in Australia. Fuck me. Okay, so the next book I want to talk about is Blame It on the Champagne by Fiona Cole. So I already spoke about this book my last video I uploaded, which was like books that I was excited for. So I finally read it. I got it on the day that it released and flew through it within like 2 days. Oh my god, so this is the start of a new series for Fiona. If you didn't know, Fiona Cole is the author of the Voyeur series, which is a series that I talked about so much last year. One of my favorites. I actually haven't finished it. I still have 2 books to read, but I fucking love that series so much. So when I saw that she was coming out with a new series, I was like, yes, bitch. And fucking hell, this book is everything and more. This has everything in it, bitch. Arranged marriage, like anti-hero, fucking what else? There's a bunch of fucking tropes in this, like so many different ones, all my favorite ones. It's just about this girl who she wants to be a part of her family's company, but her dad is like, no bitch, that is not your job. Your job is to become a wife and be like, you know, the socialite of our world. The men, whoever you marry will become the CEO of our shipping company. And she's like, fuck you, I went to college, I'm smart. Like, I want to do this, dad. And her dad's like, no. And it's like, yeah, really hard on her. She ends up going behind her dad's back and getting a job, faking her name. She uses her mum's maiden name. And she goes and applies for a job at this other shipping company. And the dude, the CEO of this company is like rivals with her dad's company, which she doesn't know. And her boss, well, yeah, there we go. There's another trope. It's like employee, like boss and employee. So then her boss, like she gets hired and her boss decides to use her to his advantage. And yeah, they end up striking a deal together to arrange a marriage to get her out of an arranged marriage that her father has set up. And yeah, her future husband has other plans for her dad's company and her. Oh, insane angst though, baby. This is a slow burn. It is a slow burn. Not in the sense that they don't, like they have sex pretty early on in the book, but it's the push and pull, you know what I mean? Like she's attracted to him but doesn't want to be attracted to him, and he knows that she's attracted to him, but like kind of teases her about it and like flaunts himself in front of her just to fuck with her and be like, yeah, you want me, I'm here, come and get me. And she's like wanting to get him, but yeah, it's amazing. I loved every minute of it, and I cannot wait to see what Fiona does with the rest of this series. I have said this a million times that I want to fucking get into male romance, bitch, okay? I've only read a couple, but the ones that I have, I'm like, sorry, what? Why is male so attractive? I've never been attracted to that in my entire life until I started reading romance. And I was like, why? Why is that fucking so hot? There's something about 2 dudes to get like, oh my god, bitch. I don't know why I'm whispering, but it's just like, whoa. That's intense, bitch. Like, I don't even mean like 2 guys, 1 girl. I mean just 2 guys. Like, male, bitch. Like, whoop. Anyway, that is a goal of mine. And I came across this new release from K.Webster. I saw her post it on her Instagram, and it's called He Made Me Stay. Whoa, bitch. Whoa, bitch. Like, hun, you need to go fucking read this right fucking now. Like, right fucking now. Like, don't even get it twisted, hun. Like, go fucking read this. For starters, it's an 80-page novella. So, yes, bitch. Something very easy to read. I gave it a nice plot, gave it a beginning, middle, and end, and it was just wholesome and good and steamy. There is a trigger warning when it comes to suicide and stuff with this book. Fuck. But it may have been a quick read, it may have been dark, but the steam, bitch, vagina flutters. It's been a while, hun. It has been a while. I haven't had flutters like that before. Like, well, I have, but not in a long fucking time, and this book gave it to me. K.Webster bitch knows how to write sex. She does it so fucking well. Anyway, it's about this guy who lost his twin brother. He's in high school. His twin brother unfortunately passed away, and he feels like he should be with him. You know, it'd be hard enough losing a sibling, but losing someone that you shared your mother's womb with, like, that would be next level. And he's like planning on committing. Like, he's planning at the end of the day, he's gonna go see his brother again and be with his brother forever. This new guy starts and he walks into the room and he's like colorful and just loud and boisterous. He's like an extrovert where the other guy is an introvert. The new guy sits next to him, starts conversation, and asks him to have lunch with him for the day. And as every day goes on, he asks him to stay a little bit longer. And they end up falling for each other. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so fucking good. I loved every minute of it. As I said, the steam, bitch. This book is fucking sexy as. Like, these teen boys, bitch, fuck me. Like, wow. Whoa. Steam McGee, bitch. Steam McGee. I've just looked at the next book. I must have been on like an emotional fucking journey at the end of 2020. I read a lot of emotional books. So this one's 1,000 Boy Kisses by Tillie. I've been putting this one up for a while because, again, I didn't want to cry. Fuck. This book is so beautiful and so painful to fucking read at the same time. It will break your heart. Sever it into 1,000 fucking pieces, hun. Like, your heart will not be the same after you fucking read this. One thing I want to point out. The main dude in this book, forgot his name already, is Norwegian. Vikings, baby. Like, Ragnar, hun. What the fuck's up, mate? Ivor the Boneless. Bitch. He's a Viking, which I just fucking froth. You guys know, I've said this before, every time there is a book with a foreign language in it, I froth the fuck out of it. Like, I love it so much. So there's a lot of Norwegian in this book. Anyway, it's about this guy who's from Norway. He moves to America, and he's a little boy when he comes, and he's 5, I think, and he's standing outside the front of his house and he's speaking to his mum in Norwegian, and his mum's like, you can't talk like that now, we've got to speak English, like, you know English, we're in America now, this is where our home now, Norway's not our home anymore. And he's like, no, I want to go back to Norway, I'm a Viking, like, I'm Norwegian, bitch, I don't want to be here in the States, I want to go back to Norway. And she's like, no, this is your home now. Anyway, he's all like shitty. He's like a 5-year-old boy, like, didn't want to move from his country. And this little girl who lives next door, who's the same age as him, called Poppy, comes through her fucking window, runs over to him, and is like, oh my god, we can be best friends. And from that day on, they are inseparable. Like, inseparable. They spend every waking moment together. His parents become friends with her parents. The whole thing is they're young, best friends, inseparable, fall in love. And then something happens. And they're torn apart. That's all I'm saying, bitch. It's fucked up. You feel emotions very early on in this book, and you're just like, what the fuck? What the actual fuck? And at the end of this book, you will cry. I cried. I don't cry often in books. I cried. You will fucking cry. Brilliant. Tillie, baby, you did well with this one. Like, oh my god. I must admit, Tillie, I find her books kind of hard to read. Not that she's a bad author or anything like that. Just her writing style just doesn't flow with me, you know what I mean? But when I do, like, give Tillie's books, like, the chance, and I really, like, just set some time aside to read them, they're always so fucking good. Like, so fucking good. This book will stay with me forever. It's so amazing. The last book that I read at the end of 2020 is Dead Man Walking, which is the 6th or 5th. No, this is the 6th installment of the Fallen Men series. Woo! Now, this was so good. You have to read this series though. This is not a standalone. You have to read the series before you go into this. But this is dark. This is steamy. This is everything I wanted and more from Gianna. Like, oh, she did such a good job. So this is about Bee and Priest. So if you haven't read the series, you won't know what I'm fucking talking about. But Bee is Lou's younger sister, and Priest is the enforcer of the Fallen Men NC Club. Bee is this, like, pretty, blonde, dainty 18-year-old that, you know, wears lots of pink. Like, her whole house is fucking pink. Like, she's a princess type of thing. And Priest is like a psychopath. Literally. Psychotic, mate. Like psychopath. Like doesn't really feel emotions, doesn't want to feel emotions. He is brutal. She's been obsessed with him for years. And she finally makes a move. The one thing that I really appreciate with this book is the amount of like research that went into it. Like Gianna did a lot of research about like psychopaths and stuff, and especially about religion. I don't know if anyone has any triggers when it comes to religion, but there's a lot of stuff in this about religion, because B is very religious. She goes to church and shit, where Priest is the opposite. His nickname is Priest, and he's a fucking enforcer for a motorcycle club. So, yeah. Trigger warning for that. It's very dark. The reason why he hates religion is kind of fucking deep, but I won't get into that. Anyway, amazing. Priest is such an anti-hero. Like, he isn't the type of man that is going to cuddle you after he fucks you. Like, he's not the type of dude that's going to tell you that he loves you. He's going to be the type of dude that will just show up. If you know what I mean. That's a beautiful thing. A lot of men are like that. I feel like a lot of men in life are like that. They'll show love through actions instead of words. And that's a beautiful thing. Priest is very much like that. So that's it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to thumbs it up and also subscribe before leaving. Don't forget, all the links to these books will be down below in the description box. You can click the link and it will take you straight to the book, whether you want to buy it in a paperback form or if you want to read an ebook. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in my next. Bye.